So anyway, as far as the math is concerned, we figured out that there's this formula we had to do in order to get the animation to line up with certain points of the music. You had to figure out like how much a beat was worth. And there's some weird formulas that's like, hey, this formula works, and I don't question those things, I just do it. So we figured out at 20 frames per second, we take the number 1200, I don't know why, and we divide it by the tempo of the music. And that tells us how much a quarter note equals, for example. So at 120 beats per minute, I know I'm giving a lot of figures here, a quarter note equals 10, which means for every little pose that we do when we're doing animation, we have to take 10 pictures. And so if you want to equal, so we have these spreadsheets with all these numbers, and the kids had to know, okay, this part of the numbers spreadsheet is where this happens in the music. So we were doing a lot of this stuff, and our first attempt at animation occurred back in October. We were doing several things. We were learning how to play with 3 mallets at the time, which you'll see several times tonight. Hold those up. 3 mallets, yay. And we came up with, we used our little skeleton magnet and came up with this. One of the specials teachers, we only get to see the kids for about 50 minutes a week. So when we're doing something like this is a 4 to 5 week project, because not only do we have to play the music, learn how to play the music, we got to figure out how fast we're playing it, and then we got to take time to do the animation as well. So there was plenty of times in the fall where we'd have some of the kids out playing and learning the music, while I had small groups in the closet with the iPads and iPhones doing all the animation, and we had to put it together. It worked well, and the kids loved it, which I was happy. So we took it one step further, and for our winter convocation, which we do virtually, we did this. We took a book called Little Red Gliding Hood, and the kids put together this. So that was actually part of, that piece was about 2.5 minutes long. So tonight's program, for example, we're doing 5 animation pieces, I believe, which in total the kids had to take over about 8,000 pictures for tonight's program. So, and it was a process. Again, we had to learn the music, we had to figure out how we wanted to animate it, then we had to figure out how fast we were playing it, and we had to figure out how in the world we put it all together with the animation. And before we get started with the actual program, this book is a very short book. We're going to read it all to you right here at the beginning. And in January, which is when we started, so again, this is about 16 weeks worth of work, but again, 1 time a week per class. We read the book, and there's a lot of these I dreamt statements. And I dreamt that. So we read the book, and then what I did was I said, I gave each class 1 class period. I said, okay, get in groups, and you have to create 4 or 5 I dreamt statements. And they came up with everything from I dreamt that I was a baseball player hitting the grand slam in the World Series to there was an astronaut going to the moon or something like that. All of these. And then each class took all those, narrowed them down to 2, our top 2 choices, and those are the choices that you're going to see tonight. And again, they took the choices, they told me, here's what kind of music we want to play. We want dark music, we want fast music, we want mysterious music. And then we had to figure out, we had to learn how to play it, then we had to go back to the animation, put the animation together, and then come back and make sure that you're kind of all about the right tempo. So tonight, as we get started, most of the animation lines up. It all depends on whether or not I hit the space bar at the right time. But I'm not Disney again, so it might not work exactly all that correct. But the kids worked really hard on this, and this is truly their program. I didn't do a whole lot with it. I started with the idea, and they took and ran with it. So tonight's credit all goes to them. They worked very hard, and with that, I'm going to turn the microphone over to Sophie and Taylor.
As I started to fall asleep, I had the most fantastic dream. I dreamt that I was a whale leaping out of the deep blue sea, a robin hopping in search of a juicy worm, a bear as he snatches at fish leaping out of the roaring water, a fish beneath the sea weaving through the reef, a deer bounding through the leafy green forest, a frog sitting quietly upon a bright green lily pad, an elephant strolling along the path in the bush, a penguin slipping and sliding along the icy sea, an eagle soaring through the cloud-scattered sky, a swan skimming gracefully over the surface of the mirror smooth pond, a goat tiptoeing along the edge of the cliff, a kangaroo bounding across the flat open spaces. But then, as I woke up, I found that I enjoyed best being me, because I could be all of those creatures and more. I dreamt that I was a spider swinging from a freshly spun thread. I dreamt that I was aggressively climbing a tree like an angry gorilla.
I dreamt that I was Waldo, hiding in the middle of the forest playing hide and seek.
Never mind. We're going to save that story. Are you sure? So this class is painting. Still in the art room. I started off right. When we were trying to find, they came up with a statement, and I had some recordings of music, and I said, let me know if something jumps out at you. And I played them a recording of this piece, and they went, there, that one. We want like paint dropping. Okay, so what I did was I went over a couple Fridays while they were in art, and we took groups into the closet, and they literally splattered paint onto a canvas, and we made it fit with the music. So that's this next piece.
Wow.
I dreamt I was an artist splashing paint onto canvas.
went to the depths of Amazon. I found these little really cool lights that would work. The kids did a lot more with them than I ever expected. I expected them just to manipulate the lights around the canvas and everything, and they discovered the on-off switch on the lights and did a much cooler thing than I had ever thought of. So I got to give credit on that. So here is our next piece.
I dreamt that I was a firefly flying through the mystical floor.
Some kind of background and shades of blue and things like that for clouds, and we used little cotton balls, and they put all this together. And then we also created some dark and stormy scenes where they decided they also wanted to color the cotton balls to make it more of a storm, and they wanted lightning bolts, and they wanted all kinds of other things. And I'm going, guys, we only got like 20 minutes left. But we put all this together, so here's our cloud piece done.
I dreamt that I was a fluffy cloud looking at the people below.
And again, this is something where, this was last week. To tell you how much we are preparing. Last week I told this class, here are the words that we use for this piece. Go to the cafeteria and create movement. You got 15 minutes. And I crossed my fingers. And they came back with a wonderful little movement to go with this piece. So here we go.
I dreamt that I was a puddle in the spring rain as people splashed through me.
a couple a little bit bragging on the kids. We played 10 pieces tonight-ish. And if you notice, they're not looking at any music. It's all memorized. And that's the process that I've been working with them since they're in kindergarten, using speech and songs and movement and body percussion to teach these pieces. And it's all pattern-based. And so again, that translates over to them knowing more than I have tonight, obviously, when it comes to the pieces. This last piece, before we get started, this is our orphan ensemble. They meet once a week after school. And I'm going to walk away on this one. So they're on their own.
I dreamt that I was a sixth grader looking back on all my memories at Smoky Row Rock.
right, so as we get set up for our last piece, again, thank you for bringing them here tonight, for coming. I know this is the most insane time of the year to ask me to spend another hour here at school. I appreciate you coming. Again, if you'd like to purchase tonight's video, there's the code. It's in your programs as well. And one thing before I turn it back over to Lila, after this song, we're going to have the kids move the instruments back to my room. And so if you could just hold tight for a few seconds before you come get them, that would help me out a lot. That way I'm going to hit till midnight, sleepy, things like that. All right.
Thank you for coming tonight. Before our final piece, please make sure to check out the link to order a video of tonight's performance by On the Spot video. Also, at the end, please help our wonderful custodians by helping to hang up your chairs on the racks. Have a great summer.